right, and we are back. I'm still here with Chai Sotiwong. Chai Sotiwong. We're on Support District Radio. Mind Your Business is the show. Thank you so much for tuning in every Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I was just talking with Chai about more or less about Connect the Dots and what we're hoping to or not even hoping. So one of the things what we will do, right? So when I say hope, it's only because like you're counting on other people, right? Like you know what you're gonna do, but when you're hoping, it's like I hope they come through. I hope that they do what they're supposed to do. But what I'm gonna do with Connect the Dots is create a system essentially to help people like him and myself network and obviously cut down the school of business. So right now they're saying it takes about 3 to 5 years for an entrepreneur to gain knowledge. Gain the tool sets, to gain the tool to produce, to be a producer. And I'm saying I don't think that it should take that long. I think that if we have the resources available to us and we have the mentorship that we need, we should be able to cut that time down at least by 1.5 years. Right. You know what I mean? If you're meeting the right people, you're connecting with the right people, and obviously your communication skills, right? A lot of people are in business and they don't realize that business is sales. And in sales, you have to be a pretty good communicator. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. Whether it be selling a product or selling yourself, for instance, I'm a performer, so I got to build my resume, get some gigs, and then be able to sell those skills, whether it be public speaking, selling, how well I can articulate ideas and sell my ideas, as well as selling my performance on screen or selling my voice.
Right. But why do you think people struggle with sales? I mean, even in an interview, you're selling yourself. A lot of people don't realize that either. They think they're just going into asking for a job, essentially, but it's like a two-way interview most of the time. You're interviewing the company, and they're interviewing you, and you're selling yourself, essentially. Why do you think people get that confused with sales?
Well, from my own experience, developing my confidence pretty substantially over the past few months, I would say that I didn't have confidence in my past experiences, and I never
own them.
I never placed much weight on my past experiences. It's just like, yeah, I did it, but then I never owned it. I could never talk about it enough because I didn't feel it, But now that I'm more confident, I am able to, I guess, express that drive or it's much easier if I have focus to where I want to go. That's also another factor, because if you don't know what you want out of the job or, out of that, what you're interviewing for, then you're not going to be able to sell yourself for that goal.
That's true. And, I went to a leadership conference not too long ago, and they talked about being authentic. You know what I mean? How authenticity helps you to be obviously your best person, and obviously it helps someone else to know exactly what you need. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times we miss being authentic, because we're trying to act, like someone else, or like what we think we want people to think of us, instead of being ourselves. And I think in business, a lot of us just don't realize how important it is to be ourselves, because people want to know our why. Like, why are we here? Why are you in business? Like, why do you want to do what you want to do as far as, acting or, singing or whatever the case may be? Why is that something that you're passionate about?
I just found that it's where I am able to be more authentic, or the most authentic, and then also I'm able to give more to others in those ways, because if I'm more myself and have the energy and drive, then I would be able to provide the most value, to others.
True.
And one of my main missions is to inspire others to be able to express themselves honestly and fully. So I hope to inspire others to whether to become a professional performing artist or just have an outlet, just explore outlets to express themselves.
I think that's important, because if we know what the school system, especially the public school systems, are cutting out on creative arts, right? They're taking out music and they're taking out dance. And I remember those things growing up, and those are things that I actually liked and enjoyed, playing the flute, being a part of chorus, you know, and different things like that. So I feel that, like you're saying, when you're able to be your authentic self, it gives other people the courage, you know, to be their authentic self as well, you know, because we do need to be more expressive, you know, not just when we're mad, right? Everybody's expressive when they're mad, you know, but even, you know, when we're thinking through different processes or just trying to have a better understanding of, you know, who we are and what we want to do. So I definitely agree with that. Well, let's talk more about business and sales.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of people miss the mark on, you know, when you're in business, you're in sales. You know what I mean? And trying to get people to understand, like, how to be the best salesperson. Because salespeople get a bad rap.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I would say that people think of sales as just strictly hard selling. You know, like the dealership, for example. It's a lot of people get a lot of bad vibes and build that, you know, their conception around that, or door sales. But not all sales, you know, are like that. For instance, I'm about to start a job at GoDaddy.
Oh, nice.
And my role will be customer support and sales. I provide the customer support first, and then I take a look at their account and then sell them based off of what I think their needs would be. So it's not, you know, a hard sell like, hey, you need this. Like it's okay. Here's
it's a consultative.
A
consultative approach.
Consultative approach. Yes.
Okay, so once you find out what their needs are, then you can go by like, okay, this is the most important need. It's like when you go to the get an oil change.
Yeah.
You know, we notice these things. You know, this is from 1 to 5. You know, where you need to focus. You know, 5 being the most important one.
Yeah.
You know, your tires are about to go bald or whatever the case may be.
Although mechanics kind of get a bad rap too.
They do, because they're always finding everything, right? Okay, but maybe that wasn't the best example. But essentially, that's what it is, right? And trying to get people to understand that, you know, you don't have to push yourself upon people, you know.
It's just building relationships and just understanding the other person's needs and, you know, offer them value based on off of those needs.
Well, I think a lot of people feel like, okay, so I sell insurance, you know, and you come to me and you're like, you know, I'm looking for a vocal coach. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with my business. You know what I mean? But if I'm still working on building a relationship with you, and I know a vocal coach, I can still be a resource.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now I need to refer you to someone else, you know, that can help you with your immediate need. You know, so getting people to understand, like, being a resource, just because somebody doesn't want your product right then and there, you know, doesn't mean that you don't have an opportunity, you know, for it later. You know, so trying to get people to understand being a resource, just being there for people, being helpful, because they remember that. You know, hey, she was helpful with me, you know. I think she has something that I might want this time. You know, let me reach out to her.
Because even if you don't make a sale, you might get a return from the other person that, you know, received the referral from. So. Right.
So, I mean, that's what a Connected Dots is all about. Like, just the understanding basis of building relationships, building rapport. You know, like everything's not, oh, you're not my client, forget you then. A lot of people do operate like that. You're like, oh, you're not buying anything from me, then whatever. You know, but still being there for them and being someone, a resource so that they can continue to be about their way, you know, and then, like you said, it may circulate back around and now you're doing business with the person you referred to, or now they're coming back to you or sending somebody your way because you were helpful to them. Business is definitely, since I've been in business here for the last 3 to 4 years, I got on my entrepreneurship journey. It's definitely been a learning process. You know, I had a conversation earlier this morning with someone, and they were basically saying that, you know, it's true. There's an entrepreneur mindset and there's an employee mindset, you know, and getting out of that employee mindset, and it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, how do you manage?
Well, I think I am in that in-between phase now because I'm using GoDaddy as just a stable income platform because I needed some income. Beforehand, I was just using my student loans as my income, which is, you know, not the right way to go. You know.
Well, you're looking at it as an investment, right?
Yeah.
I did that. I'm going to invest it in myself. But still, now you have to pay that loan back, and hopefully, you know, you have the funds.
But I feel that the return will come, because it feels a lot better when I'm dialed into my passions and my goals and my gifts. So they say that, what's the saying? That you start with your gifts and then money will come. Money will come.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's exactly true. And that's one thing that I have been seeing, just being fruitful, sowing the seed, and being someone that people look up to, or they look to you for something.
Yeah.
Being someone that they can go to for help. You're like, dang, everybody wants my help for other stuff. They don't necessarily want the help that I want to give them.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, when you're doing what you love and you are just being in a helping place, the money does start to circulate to you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you figured out with your, basically being an actor or being a singer, that's not necessarily figuring out a system, but you are going to have to figure out some type of system if you want to become talent and get your name out there.
Right.
Have you thought around that, what that's going to look like, how you're going to monetize that?
I haven't yet, but I do have some mentors and coaches within that field,
Mm-hmm.
that realm.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's more of a learning phase, because this year I plan to just learn, do some extra work, take some workshops, and then next year, once I save up some money, I'll do hustle and audition.
When you save up some money,
Yeah.
and you can get out the workforce for a
Yeah.
little bit to actually do that full time.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and take another break here. Tuning in on Mind Your Business on Support District Radio with Apichai.
Apichai, yes.
Apichai Sotiwong. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back with you after these messages.